Vocabulary. Language. 1. A. Read questions 1 to 10. What do the words in bold mean? Check with other students or your teacher, then think about your answers to the questions. 1. Why are you learning English? For work, exams, travel, etc. 2. Do you speak any languages apart from your mother tongue and English? Mother tongue, the first language that you learn as a child. 3. Who is the best language learner in your family? 4. Did you use any learning strategies when studying your second language? Which learning strategies, plans, activities, and techniques that people use to help them learn? 5. When was the first time you used a foreign language outside the classroom? Foreign. From a country that is not your own. 6. Do you have the chance to speak right to native speakers regularly? Native speakers. People who learnt a language as their first language when they were a baby. 7. Is it important for you to learn slang or jargon in English, or do you only want to learn standard English? Slang. Very informal language that uses new or rude words instead of more common words. Jargon. Words, phrases used by people in the same profession which are difficult for others to understand. 8. Which is more important to you when you learn to speak a language, fluency or accuracy? Fluency. The ability to speak right a language very well without stopping frequently. Accuracy. The quality of being correct. 9. Which skill is the hardest for you? Speaking, listening, reading, or writing? Which is the easiest? Skill. An ability that needs to be learnt and practiced, e.g. writing, playing the piano. 10. Do you know anyone who is bilingual? What advantages might they have in life? Bilingual. The ability to speak 2 languages fluently. B. Work in groups. Discuss your answers to questions 1 to 10. Bilinguals. Exotic birds or everyday people. By Johan Acosta. Grandpa shouts. Dinner's ready in Danish. My mother asks me in English to lay the table. As I do so, I catch the theme tune of the Brazilian soap opera on TV in the living room, where my sister is relaxing. She speaks perfect Portuguese. My father asks her to record the proga, NE in his native Spanish, and we take our places at the table. And what's on the menu? Italian meatballs. We know we aren't a normal family. At any moment, you might hear conversations in 4 different languages, and almost everyone understands almost everything. But what is normal these days? My mother is half Danish, half English. And my father, who is from Bolivia, speaks Spanish and Guarani. Because of my mother's work, she's now retired, we lived in Brazil, Italy and Germany, so we picked up 3 more languages. Now as adults, my sister and I both speak 6 languages, academic and intellectual. The research has also destroyed some of those persistent myths. One of the myths is that bilingualism is uncommon, as if we bilinguals are like rare, exotic birds. The truth is that around 50% of the world's inhabitants are bilingual. The continents with the most linguistic diversity are Asia and Africa. In Nigeria alone, 500 languages are spoken, in India 400. Some people believe that you have to learn both languages as a child to be truly bilingual. My sister and I are fortunate in this respect, but we know countless people who have mastered a second language as adults. They may not have such perfect pronunciation as those who acquire their second language as children, but they are still completely fluent and accurate. Another myth about bilinguals concerns identity. People think we have split personalities. As kids, my sister and I were often asked, "But where are you really from? Don't you get confused?" Not at all. I'm me, the product of many cultures. I can switch languages easily, according to where I am and who I'm with, and this seems completely natural to me. As for the benefits, bilinguals do better on certain and tests, are better protected against mental illnesses such as Alzheimer's, gain insights into other cultures, have access to more of the world's information, and are in some contexts more employable. Being bilingual has made me who I am, and for that I'm grateful. 2. Answer the questions. 1. Which words in bold in questions 1-10 have silent letters? Silent letters: UE in tongue, G in foreign, E in native. 2. What are the silent letters in these words? Science, talk, listen, know, right, wrong, hours, guess. Silent letters: first C in science, L in talk, T in listen, K in know, GH in right, W in wrong, H in hours, U in guess. 3. Which statement, A or B, do you think is true? A. Most words in English are spelt differently to how they are pronounced. B. Under 20% of words in English are spelt differently to how they are pronounced. B is true. Speakout tip. Around 14% of English words have irregular spelling. They are spelt differently to how they are pronounced. When you learn new words, try to hear them. Watch out for silent letters. Reading. 3a. Read the title of the text. What do you think it will discuss? Read to find out. The text is about some of the most common myths about bilingualism. B. Read the text again and answer the questions. 1. What 6 languages do you think the writer and his sister speak? Danish, English, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, German. 2. How do you think the writer learnt each of his languages? Danish and English from his mother, Spanish from his father, Portuguese, Italian and German from living in countries where those languages are spoken. C. Underline words or phrases in the text that match meanings 1 to 6 below. 1. Relating to the language you grew up speaking. Paragraph 1. 2. Learnt by listening, watching other people. Paragraph 2. 3. Speaking many languages. Paragraph 3. 4. False ideas that people continue to believe and repeat. Paragraph 3. 5. Learn without needing to try hard, e.g. a language. Paragraph 5. 6. Understand important truths about a subject. Paragraph 7. D. Discuss the questions with other students. 1. Do you agree with the writer's list of the advantages to being bilingual? 2. Do you think there are any disadvantages to being bilingual? 3. Do you know any families that are bilingual or multilingual? Are they similar to the family in the text? Grammar. Question forms. 4a. Read sentences 1 to 6 and answer questions A, E. 1. Do you speak other languages? 2. Did you use any learning strategies? 3. Who did you talk to? 4. What happened? 5. What did you talk about? 6. Who is the best language learner in your family? A. Underline the main verb in each question. The first has been done for you. 1. Do you speak other languages? 2. Did you use any learning strategies? 3. Who did you talk to? 4. What happened? 5. What did you talk about? 6. Who is the best language learner? B. Circle the auxiliary verbs. Which auxiliary refers to the past? Which refers to the present? 1. Do you speak other languages? 2. Did you use any learning strategies? 3. Who did you talk to? 5. What did you talk about? 1. Do, present. 2. Did, past. 3. Did, past. 5. Did, past. C. Which two questions are yes-no questions? 1. Do you speak other languages? 2. Did you use any learning strategies? Four. Read sentences 1 to 6 and answer questions A, E. 1. Do you speak other languages? 2. Did you use any learning strategies? 3. Who did you talk to? 4. What happened? 5. What did you talk about? 6. Who is the best language learner in your family? B. 1. Do, present. 2. Did, past. 3. Did, past. 5. Did, past. C. 1 and 2. D. 3 and 5. E. 4 and 6. Page 128. Language Bank. Language Bank. Grammar. 1.1. Question forms. Object questions. Object questions use the word order. Question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus infinitive. Question word. Auxiliary verb. Subject. Verb. Where do you work? What did she say? When are they coming? Yes-no questions. Yes-no questions don't use a question word. The answer to the question is yes or no. Auxiliary verb. Subject. Verb. Does he smoke? Did we win? Have they arrived? Subject questions. When the WH question word is the subject of the question. We don't use an auxiliary verb, do, did, etc. We use the same word order as in an affirmative sentence. Question word. Verb. Object. Who wants ice cream? What happened? Who ate the cheese? Questions with prepositions. When we use a verb plus preposition expression, but not multi-word verbs, such as look for, depend on, write about, etc., we usually keep the verb and preposition together. What did you talk about? Who are you looking for? In English, we sometimes move the preposition to the front of the sentence. Compare. What does it depend on? On what does it depend? Practice. 1.1a. Write questions for the answers in italics. 1. Where do you live? I live in Madrid. 2. Who won the game? Nick won the game. 3. Does he eat meat? No, he doesn't eat meat. 4. What are they doing? They are sleeping. 5. What are you writing about? I'm writing about my first holiday. 6. When did you arrive? We arrived yesterday. 7. Who ate the chocolate? We ate the chocolate. 8. Did you like the film? Yes, we liked the film. B. Put the words in brackets in the correct places to make questions. 1. The president. Killed. Who? Who killed the president? 2. Were you thinking? What? About. What were you thinking about? 3. To the old theatre. Happened. What? What happened to the old theatre? 4. Where your great-grandparents come from? Did. Where did your great-grandparents come from? 5. Your ancestors from here? Come. Did. Did your ancestors come from here? 6. She here for a long time? Worked. Has. Has she worked here for a long time? 7. Is all that noise? Who? Making. Who is making all that noise? 8. House you looking for? Which? Which house are you looking for?
Unit 1. Identity. Recording 1. 1.
Do you speak other languages?
2.
Did you use any learning strategies?
3.
Who did you talk to?
4.
What happened?
5.
What did you talk about?
6.
Who is the best language learner in your family?
5. Put the words in the correct order to make. Questions. 1. Do. Every. You. Day. Study. Do you study every day? 2. Your. Any. Did. Languages. Teach. Parents. You. Other. Did your parents teach you any other languages? 3. Is. Learner. Who. The. Best. You. Language. Know. Who is the best language learner you know? 4. Was. Teacher. Your. English. First. Who. Who was your first English teacher? 5. Do. Do. You. Remember. What? English. 2. Words. In. 5. What do you do to remember words in English? 6. Languages. You. What? Do. 2. Like. Listening. 7. Do. What? Watch. You. English. In. TV. Programs. 8. Foreign. Did. Speak. First. When. Language. A. You. B. Choose 3 of the questions to ask other students. 6.a. Write 4 dates, 4 names, and 4 places that are important to you. Dates: the 7th of May, 2008, my son was born. Names. Places. B. Work in groups. Take turns to explain what you wrote. As you listen, think of questions to ask. Afterwards. Writing. Emails of introduction. Learn to write formal and informal emails. 7a. When would you write a letter or email to introduce yourself? Applying for a job, applying for a university or college place, applying for a place on a course. B. Read the emails. Why are the people writing? Which sentences tell us? 2. Ramirez H. at languagestar.net. Subject. Spanish conversation class. Hi Hernan. Why name's Julia Brown? I heard from my friend Nicola Lazarus that you're running a Spanish conversation class. She said you'd be happy to accept a few more people. My mother tongue is English, but I picked up some Spanish years ago when I was traveling in Latin America. Really want to develop my fluency and accuracy, so I'd love to join the class. Hope to hear from you soon. All the best. Julia. Julia is writing because she wants to join a class. She said you'd be happy to accept a few more people and wishes to introduce herself. My name's. My mother tongue is. Elle was traveling. Elle really want to. Tolia is writing to introduce herself to her new colleagues. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself. I have been involved in, married. Dear colleagues, as you probably know, next month I will start work as the new director of the Language Teaching Education program. For those of you who don't know me, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself. Since 2010, I have worked at the School of Education at Borodiv University. I have been involved in a number of language teacher education projects across Europe, and I worked extensively on the Star Placement Initiative that placed 6,000 native speakers in language classrooms in 8 countries. I am married with 2 children and my family is bilingual in English and Turkish. I look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Tolya Osman. 8. Read the 5 steps for good email writing. Do you think the emails in exercise 7b follow steps 1 to 3? Yes. 1. Aim for your audience. Think about who you are writing to. Is the email formal or informal? 2. Be brief. Try not to use too many words. Emails shouldn't go on for pages. 3. Communicate clearly. Use simple, clear language and simple sentence structure. 4. Do 2 drafts. Write a first version and then rewrite. 5. Edit everything. Check grammar, vocabulary, spelling and punctuation before sending. Read the 5 steps for good email writing. Do you think the emails in exercise 7b follow steps 1 to 3? Yes. 9a. Look at the emails in exercise 7b. Again, which one is formal and which is informal? How do you know? The first is informal. It uses contractions, my name's, your. It leaves out words, hope to hear from you soon. It sounds more like spoken English. I really want to, I'd love to. The second is formal. It uses full forms of verbs, I will, I would. It uses longer, more complex sentences. I have been involved in a number of, in 8 countries. B. Answer questions 1 to 4 with formal, F, or informal, I. 1. Which email uses full forms of verbs, I will, I would, instead of contractions, your, I'd? Formal. 2. Which email leaves out words, e.g., hope to, instead of I hope to? Informal. 3. Which email sounds more like spoken English? Informal. 4. Which email uses longer, more complex sentences? Formal. C. Complete the notes with phrases from the email. Greeting. Formal dear, name. Informal hi hello. Introduction. Formal I would like to take this opportunity. Informal my name's. Final message. Formal I look forward to. Informal hope to hear from you soon. Goodbye. Formal, yours sincerely. Informal all the best. 10. Choose a situation below and write an email. Think about who you are writing to, the reason for writing and the style, formal or informal. Situation 1. You are going to join an English conversation class. Write an email introducing yourself to the teacher and the class. Mention your experience of learning and speaking English and say why you want to join the class. Situation 2. Next week you start a new job in a multinational company. Your colleagues speak over 20 languages, and all of them read English. Write to introduce yourself. Mention your previous work experience and the languages you know, and add something personal.